we've got to start separating the questions by boy questions and girl questions. Otherwise, you come to the tank and it's just full of baby questions. It's ridiculous. All right. Jeez. Okay. I love reading the ones around the one that I rolled because sometimes you see a better one. But they're also kind of interesting. Oh, this is nice. Yeah. Describe 2 or 3 things you do to relax. That's nice. All right. Topical for these Ninja Turtle farm days that we've been enjoying. In our slice of life Eastern European campaign. So, while you ruminate on that, would anybody come on, brain. Would anybody like to recap what happened last week for a fact-spiration, a DM inspiration that doesn't count against the 3 DM inspirations that you normally acquire? If you are interested in such a thing, roll a d20 into chat. If no one is, I can definitely do it because it's a pretty easy one to recap this time. Going once, going twice. Daniel Jones, reporter at large. What happened last time?
All right, so Dear Diary, the book report from Hell continues. Anna and Wagner, they're making great progress, but this has taken a lot longer than anticipated. And I'm starting to think, we need to get out of here. We need to move quickly and soon. This kind of whatever strange grace we've been enjoying. I think it's going to be over sooner than later. Plus the full moon. It's only 6 days away, and part of me wishes I had a little bit more time. Anna, she's been a peach, but Van Richten, he's been kind of putting off some serious vibes, like, I hope you're at least paying attention while you're destroying my larder and we're doing all the work. I'm just like, dude, that dark on cheddar, it's amazing. I can barely taste the pestilence. Joke's on him though, because I have been paying attention. Now he's got like a page and a half of bullet points. Stop me when it gets too tedious. Things we've learned. Some guy named Andrel back in the day, he organized, a rebellion against Strahd. It failed. Then, some lady named Markovia led a small crusade against the castle. There's big emphasis on, how the castle, kind of itself kind of turned the tide. Also failed. That lady, she's buried in the crypts. Her mace might be in the chapel, ? Shane Masters never picked it up during our shopping episode. Let's see. We got the first mention of the cycle of regeneration, and the hollow-souled people. That feels like it's kind of important. Especially since Strahd says he can't get anything from drinking their souls or from drinking their blood. So I kind of wonder, is it the soul he's consuming or just the blood? I mean, platelets. Am I right? Let's see. Strahd discovers the reincarnation cycle. It's not just Tatiana. He's seeing people come back again and again. But the weird thing is that he admits that it's not him doing this. Maybe it's being something done to him or a natural process of the land and the dark powers. But I think he's convinced it's something that's being done to him. Let's see. Relationships with Astani, nothing new there. He talks about the rock of Mount Gakis, and how it's concerning, not as a threat to him, but as a rival for hunting grounds. Like, this is my world to conquer, not the rocks. But, as long as there's fishies, he thinks it's going to be happy. Maybe that's something we can deal with. Let's see. Baba Lazaga, he holds her in high esteem, and doesn't want to be on her bad side. But, the enemy and my enemy, we're kind of getting the vibe that is, that doesn't make her our friend. We might still just have to choke a bitch on that one. Talked about Xantha the Lich losing his mind in the Amber Temple. Thought got kind of jumpy about that one. Let's see. Strahd's kind of confused and amused by the change in Argon Vostold's mission. We kind of knew that one already. then things are starting to get really weird. You know, when we started writing about the abbot and a special project, and I'm like, dude, we thought this was a new thing. How long has he been crafting the Bride of Frankenstein? You know, which brings up a lot of questions. You know, really about how long has he been doing this? This, you know, getting again into the cyclical nature of the land. You know, all I can think is, you know, Battlestar Galactica. All this has happened before and will happen again. Uh, might be a little bit too on the too on the nose. Excuse me. Let's see. You know, he also realizes more cyclical stuff that every time he gets close to Tatiana, you know, she meets with disaster. You know, so that I think is kind of, you know, flavoring his actions, especially, you know, in more modern times. You know, he's not just, you know, he wants it, but he can't want it. You know, kind of that whole wicked Elphaba conundrum. Let's see. He talks about the heart again. You know, and its protective power, but also, you know, about how anti-magic feels like the one in this tower. You know, seem to disconnect from that. Maybe there's something there if only we had access to such magics. Oh, let's see. Talks about how he's fortified himself against sunlight. Yeah, with all that. Goes into the Dusk's elves and their betrayal. That is some real heavy stuff. Very, very personal. Just killing all the ladies. See, we also you know, kind of ended our session with, you know, talking about the local witches, you know, but, you know, and he's giving them all sorts of favors and holding like a witch court, you know, but he seems, you know, so wary of the hags, like they could be dangerous, like steal his power and stuff. But that's what we've been doing with the book report, and man, is it tedious. I mean, we're all starting to get restless. I mean, Emil, he was ready to bolt out of here, but Darius and I, you know, we talked him down. We're like, hey, you can't just stroll into, you know, Casa de Werewolf by yourself. They're just gonna kill you. You need our support. But also, like, you know, this is kind of a trust exercise. You need to we need to trust each other. And, you know, we'll trust you, but you gotta trust us. So it goes back and forth, back and forth. You know, there was a few other conversations. I know Anna and Van Richten were getting really cozy during some of those readings. I don't know what's going on with that. You know, it's like some of us can't hear everything. See, we got Van Richten's backstory from Thought, and like, damn, we need to like get this guy, you know, a badge or a T-shirt, you know, for the teams. Like that's the guy we need rolling with us if we're gonna.
That was your takeaway from his backstory? Incredible. Keep going. Sorry.
Well,
no,
yes.
keep going.
As you can, you know, because, you know, everything he did in Darkon, like, you know, raising an undead army, it's like, dude, that's about anything else. That's some muscle. You know, with that, and he's a very sad man because everything goes bad. But, you know, who doesn't here? Yeah, that's pretty much what we got. The book report continues. The full moon encroaches. You know, the cycle of the land continues. And who knows what's going to happen next.
I wish I did. Okay. Yeah, take your recap inspiration, sir. All right, would anybody like to answer this soft, cozy question? Describe 2 or 3 things you do to relax. It's a nice little softball pitch of a question. Hopefully it doesn't make us all even more sad after we're done. All right, going once. Going twice. All right, sold to Darius, 7.
Oh.
Didn't think you'd make it this far.
I didn't. When he was back on Earth, I think one of the things that he liked to do to kind of wind down was still kind of work related. Because he worked at his father's. don't we all have that problem? Because he worked at his father's car dealership on some days. So being a mechanic kind of was a point for him to focus his mind on some other things. So even when he was back home, just working on his sidecar project was enough to kind of just like take his mind away from the daily grind of everything else that was going on. His other thing, honestly, this exercise also kind of helped him calm down. And not like intense like workout, but just like something as simple as just like jogging outside or
Yeah, it's doing stuff with your hands and your body. That's a great way to relax.
That's kind of the main takeaway for Darius, is that he uses his body to relax, even though that sounds a bit odd.
No, it doesn't. There's 7 different types of relaxation to deal with the 7 different types of burnout. Anyways, good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, you may ask the same question of any willing PC or any NPC that you've met previously. I feel like you could ask anybody, because it's not like this is going to give away meta knowledge, you know?
Yeah.
Or will it? Even if it does, you guys are great role players, so it wouldn't matter. I think that you guys would die before you would betray your meta knowledge. That's how good role players I think you are. So
The confidence there.
Yeah, it is impressive. It is impressive.
I'm curious about oh fuck, what was her name? Sorry, let's go real back quick. Write her down. I know I wrote it down. I did. Helga, the maid.
Helga the maid. Oh wow. Okay.
You're in Castle Ravenloft all day. What do you do to relax?
She likes. It's a little boring, but she likes to read books. That's one of her things that she likes to do. And she likes to make pastries. So she'll hang out with Cyric, and they'll just make really like low quantity, high quality like pastries. Obviously, just for them and for Strahd if he wants one. But you know the kind of pastries where you're doing like the glass sugar and
They're going all out on this.
Yeah, like the real meticulous shit that like serving a castle of that size, even though most of the people there don't eat. You make things in quantity, so being able to make something for yourself, right? Something impractical is always nice. And then Castle Ravenloft has just a phenomenal library, so it's always nice just to be able to grab a book from throughout the multiverse and just kind of like she's read the final book of Game of Thrones because they got a copy of that from a timeline where it actually got finished. So it's good stuff. Spoiler: it got finished by Sanderson. It didn't actually get finished by George R.R. Martin. He died, and then he left in his will that he wanted Sanderson to finish the series. So Sanderson finished it in 15 minutes because he just had to boot up the file on his computer because he'd already written it. So anyways, that's what she does to unwind. All right, great. That was nice. That was nice. Normally, after some of these factspirations, I just feel really horrible. So that was a good one. All right, we will return.
Thinking what a campaign of vampires working for Strahd would be like. But I guess that's kind of also an option here.
I mean, that was definitely always an option for sure. It's always an option.
But I guess it wouldn't really matter.
Nightfall, because they've had a couple of close calls with full TPKs, like very close full TPK close calls. There's a constant joke about which cold shoulder they're going to play when the TPK hits. Like which they're like calling dibs on which cold shoulder they want to play as. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, become the change you want to see in the world, Darius. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that hard, buddy. All right, let's head back to the tower. And we're just vibing in the tower.
I guess it wouldn't really work because of what we've learned, that those involved with him can't really do shit for him.
Well, that's how vampirism works in 5e, yes, is that a master vampire is the only one that can make baby vampires, and the baby vampires have to basically do whatever the master vampire tells them. The vampire spawns, yeah. And they can only become full vampires by killing and feeding on the master vampire. So that's good, though, if you think about it from a population control standpoint, because otherwise worlds would just get overrun with vampires real fast. So, all right, back in the tower. Change out our music and add that oof for Darius. Hope everybody's had a nice weekend. You're built up emotionally. So let's see. Grab this. Go over here. All right. So Anna, you and Van Richten think you've got maybe 2-ish days left. The big thing I was hoping from the recap, Daniel, because I didn't watch the end of last episode. Where were we at? What did we end on last week? Does anybody remember?
We ended. We were talking about the witches and the hags.
Ah, okay. Okay. So then we still have a ways to go in the journal in the book. Your last entry that you transcribed was Fane's 1. Okay, got it. It's good that the guy who's most infected by the Fanes is not here. So, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Great. Okay. Then you guys would settle in to sleep, and then the next day would come, which is probably why it says 6 a.m. And then Anna, you and the doctor get back to transcribing. Okay. During this day, you have calmed Emil down. So, what a fun gameplay loop that is, right? Mini game, right? You have calmed Emil down, and he said he's going to give you what, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days?
Yeah, he said 5.
Yeah, so he's gonna roll out on the 9th if you guys still aren't done. But other than that, he's just gonna kind of keep to himself and do his own thing. Keeps training, doing a training montage every day. So the rest of you, do you have any scenes that you play out? I feel like as a narrator, I would say something like, despite the darkness they constantly found themselves in and the horrors they were forced to witness and endure, it was these days on the causeway outside the tower on Lake Baratok that the Walking Dead was able to find a small measure of peace and calm.
Who's your Ghost Rider?
Yeah, before it all fell apart. No, I don't know. It was just off the cuff. So I mean, listen, you don't really need a robot to the writing. Like, I have to fucking fix all the shit the robot does. It's like having a high school intern doing like your writing when you ask ChatGPT to do it. Like, don't fool yourself. All right. So, do any of you do anything while you're waiting, or is it just more of the same? Just kind of training, introspection, relaxation, existing, or we'll say that whatever happens with Tiernan is a mystery. But Darius, Shane, and Daniel, is there anything noteworthy today that we want to check in on? Any scene that we want to see?
More the same.
More of the same?
Yep. Daniel attempts to teach Irene and Shane modern dance numbers.
Okay.
To kind of get them up to date.
I have to ask, are these just from Fortnite?
They probably ended up there.
Okay. But I'm asking, is Daniel like actually like a dancer? Like, is he like?
No, he's awful. Plus,
Okay.
literally, 2 broken legs. But
Well,
I
I'm
think
saying before all of that, before your legs were broken and all that, was he a dancer?
no, he was not. But
Okay, okay.
Fortnite and modern trends.
Okay, so you're just
Okay.
you were just into dancing.
Yeah, I mean, showing Shane
Oh,
showing
so
Shane like how to floss and
oh my God. So did
you
you
know.
watch like Dancing with the Stars and stuff, Daniel?
Oh, he's seen a few, a lot of late
So
night television.
I've seen a few.
More,
I'm
more,
suspicious right
more
now.
than more than his player has.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I have added back in investigation to the game because I think that investigation's pretty cool, and it makes up for a certain lack of depth in the recalling of knowledge and the learning of things that the system was lacking. I thought simplifying it into perception was the right move. If you had the box checked before it disappeared, it should still be there when it reappears. So on your sheet, it should say like if you have it or not.
Daniel had training in that. Could he actually start helping?
Yeah, that'd be fine. So like give Anna a break or just to help out with Anna?
Oh, to help out. I'm sure after like teaching everyone the Harlem Shake and nearly breaking through
Okay.
the floor, Van Richten's like, get serious.
Mm,
Like, do
mm,
something
mm.
to help her. Get out.
Oh, damn. Okay. I mean, I don't know if he
Or,
really cares that much, but
well,
yeah, like yeah.
it might be like it might just like be like that stare that says it.
Or maybe Daniel. You're just getting bored with idolatry, and you see how hard Anna and the doctor are working, and you want to step up.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Okay, all right. I mean, you got to be pretty damn smart to go into the emergency nursing field and be a burglar and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I guess the question is, Watchdog Anna, do you feel that Daniel is a threat to your growth through this contact with the doctor?
No,
No? Okay. All right. So you're okay with Daniel helping out?
absolutely.
All right. Fantastic. So it becomes a lot chattier as you guys are working. For Anna and the doctor, we're talking like 3 hours at a time, 0 words are spoken. And then out of nowhere he just blurts out like a revelation. Like that's his method. Like you've been paying close enough attention to Anna that he, you just know when he's like reaching for something, like that's what he needs, or like he'll just tap like 3 times, like tap 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 on like a paragraph, and that means like I need you to transcribe this kind of thing.
She teaches Daniel these things.
Yeah, you have reached the penultimate helping Dad change the oil state, right? You're like kind of glowing and hovering above the garage floor. Like when Dad needs the Phillips head screwdriver, it's already in your fucking hand. I don't know if any of us in real life have ever reached that, but Anna is a 9th level revenant in a tabletop RPG power fantasy game. So we're gonna assume that you have mastered this skill. All right, wonderful. Shane, are you getting up to anything outside, or inside, or anywhere?
Yeah. So after he tries to convince Daniel that he is not a dancer, and look, I know the electric slide, and that's enough. I don't do this shuffle, shake, stomp, floss, and whatever the hell that Macarena thing is. I'm not doing that.
Got good memories of the Macarena. So it's the good times. Those are the good times.
But he does spend some time attaching the bayonet to his rifle using the crafting skill if needed, which he does have proficiency in. And he looks for somebody to help him spar and get better with in melee, and if nobody is willing, he will go outside and do it with a clean sweep, who apparently now is armed.
Okay. Well, Tiernan and Irenia have been spending a lot of time not like dangerously out of sight, but like apart from the others, and Irenia definitely seems troubled after all these revelations lately, and has kind of withdrawn into herself. I guess before Tiernan, with his incredible insight and perception, hears your heart rate change because of disappointment of not finding a sparring partner, and then comes to be your sparring partner. We'll leave it hanging in the air in case anybody else nearby wants to go and get some sparring practice in with a very good friend of theirs that they might have had some minor beef with. You know, like there's been some rocky road in between the two of them, but you know, nothing a little boy fighting can't solve. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, going once, going twice.
Darius
Okay.
sees this and he continues his sparring with Emil.
All right. Tiernan approaches and he says, "Hey, Shade Masters, you look like you could use a sparring partner."
Yeah,
And then Irenia says, "Or two," and she stabs you in the back
oh,
with a stick. With a stick. It still hurts so bad.
He's like, ah! Kind of jumps away and looks at Tiernan like, you know, what the hell?
And Talto says, "Or you could fight me," and he turns into a fucking bear and starts mauling you. Nice. That's a good time.
You know,
That's
options. He has options.
Yeah. Well, this is good because you've got a tanky guy that will never actually hit you in combat. You've got wild animals, and if you wanted to, a little spell casting. He's not too loose with his magic, but little spell casting, and then scout rogue. So it kind of gives you, you know, you can mix and match. Really get. This is like the fucking danger room over here. It's like the danger room.
Yeah, I guess he'll spend a little bit of time with each, you know, for their different styles to kind of prepare for everything.
Yeah.
But you know, he spends some of the time with Taltos with obviously the shield and Dawnbringer, and with Irenia, he practices with the bayonet because you know, she's probably a little more nimble, he's guessing. And with Tiernan, kind of, you know, whichever he's using at the time, I guess, just to try to get better at. No, he's not a close-in fighter, but realizes he will have to be at some point. So.
Okay. Good stuff. All right. Let us check these rolls. Tell you what, Daniel, you may attempt an investigation. If you get 20 or higher, you will provide a D4 expertise to Van Richten's roll. Does that sound good? Or do you want to roll the rolls now, and then Van Richten can try to give you the expertise? Van Richten's at a plus 11.
Yeah, I've only got a +4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like he developed good study habits in college, is where it came from.
Got it.
But yeah, he'll attempt to help.
Okay. Okay. You are helpful, but not so helpful that it makes a huge difference. But it does ease the load for everyone involved. And it is appreciated.
He's holding the flashlight real good.
I mean, at this point, yeah, we got candles, but that's cool. All right. Here we go. 3 rolls for today. With advantage because of all the big helpers. And let's see what that unlocks. This chapter, Van Richten tells you, is very hard to decipher. There is degradation and deterioration to the ink and the pages. And you can see that there are burns on the pages, as if some magical spell effect may have gone off at some point. And there are the faint etchings of runes and stuff. And his theory is that explosive runes were actually at one time placed in this section of the book, and that at one time someone opened the book without being authorized to do so and set off the detonations of explosive runes, damaging this section of the book. So it's making the transcription very difficult, and there's a lot of content that just has been obliterated, which is unfortunate. So, that being said, he is able to decipher 2 more sections of the book. That do leave 1, 2, 3, 5 more sections that you guys have to deal with. Or you don't. At any point, you guys can be like, we don't need this stuff. Let's get out of here. And then, go back to adventuring.
Not where we're this close to a level up. That's
I mean, you just got to read the book. You just got to read the book.
This is one of the easier ones.
I will say that the last entries are all over DC 30, so I'm not even sure how with a plus 11 you're gonna get through them without just grinding. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's like, you're getting 6 rolls a day essentially. That would all need to be really high. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. All right, you gather that evening to listen to the results of the reading, and if there's any interjections, Daniel and Anna, that were not made to the room at large, I will notate those. So, Chapter 4, Power Feigns 2. Baba Lysaga has outlived all her counterparts. She has unlocked a secret to immortality, but not like Exanther or myself. Don't know why Exanther's in there twice. That's a weird typo. She bathes in the blood of beasts during each new moon. I infer that grave misfortune befalls her if she fails to complete this ritual. I suspect the influence of Mother Night. All right. And then there is Exanther 1. Let's see. Exanther has indeed granted profane life to his armor, as he claimed mere rubbish, he calls it. But I see the potential. He has conferred upon it a blessing of the dark powers from the Amber Temple. An ambitious plea indeed. All blessings of the dark powers come with a dear price. I know too well. Okay. Van Richten, Anna, and Daniel, at the end of your long day of decoding, deciphering, and recovering of knowledge, he seems very dissatisfied. He says, I know I am being petulant, but because we have learned a great secret, the weakness of Baba Lysaga, who you will likely have to face at some point. But regarding Exanther, life to his armor, I don't understand the significance. It was obviously significant to Strahd because he quotes mere rubbish. So obviously he was bothered by Exanther's dismissal of great power. I think this hints at a jealousy of his master. Perhaps this was the moment that sparked his true desires to master the arcane. What are your thoughts?
Perhaps he's dissatisfied that Strahd relies on trinkets to help him, and not just pure power.
Perhaps. Daniel, you have any insights?
Well, I mean, all that time in the Amber Temple, I mean, it's hard to know what's going through his head anymore. I mean, these things.
Yes. I find it disturbing, right?
I mean, these things are like alien. Like, other than consuming all flesh, like what exactly do they want, and how are they affecting them? It's hard to know. Plus he was getting a little crazy before then, wasn't he?
Well, that is what I'm wondering. Again, there is no dates, there are no times. How could a student who knows the dangers inherent in the Ember Temple sit back and watch their own teacher go into the Ember Temple and begin to delve into its secrets? Was this Strahd's subtle sabotage of his master? Or did he wish to see, from perhaps a perverse academic standpoint, if Exanther was strong enough to master the power of the temple, whereas he himself, in his own words, is too cautious and frightened to do so? I hope tomorrow that we can learn more. Let us call everyone in and present what we have learned, though I don't know how useful it will be to them. All right, and then you guys would all hear those new entries. Does anyone have any reacts?
Does Thought have any point of view on this? Was he around when this happened?
Aw, that's a really sweet thing to ask. So Thought is quiet, listening to what the words that are said. But when you kind of turn to him, perched over here on the windowsill, he says, "Well, you don't become a lich because you follow the rules, I suppose you could say. Yeah, the Amber Temple was ripe with power, like a succulent fruit about to burst on the vine, Exanther once described it. He fancied himself beyond their influence. I think in a way he brought about his own downfall with his mind. The magics that he was using to fortify his mind against the influence of the dark powers, I think it's the same magic that might have addled his mind completely. I'm a part of him, and so his will is mine. And so there was, I confess, a certain excitement on my part to go in there and see what secrets were to be gleaned, what power to be tapped into. It was a terrifying place. It was a dangerous place, to put it mildly. It was the worst place. But the potential, it kept calling us back. Over and over again. And it's no secret. Strahd, he cautioned Exanther, but Exanther viewed it as the jealous mulings of an overly ambitious apprentice. He felt that Strahd didn't want Exanther to learn what he had not been able to. For all his flaws and his shortcomings, he was a devout student and very respectful. He never gave my master any cause for extreme discipline. In fact, Exanther often worried that a student that sharp, that dedicated, was more dangerous than one who was brash and foolish. Perhaps he was right. And he just sort of stares at you.
Think you thought?
Yeah, Van Richter nods to him like that does answer some of my questions as well. Small frog. All right. Turns to look around the room. And he says, yeah, well then, we will get some sleep and continue in the morning. I do not want to sound like I am repeating myself, but it will be at least 2 more days. We are encountering some difficulties here. Towards the end, there was damage to the text that I feel we have no means of repairing, only working around. We must be filling in gaps wherever we can. Good night. So he heads to sleep. That night, Daniel is the waning gibbous, and you do start to feel the enticing pull of the dark, of the night, of the moon. That night you dream of the hunt. You dream of being quick and strong, of your body being whole and mended.
He's happy about it.
Yeah. All right. That next day, does anybody get up to any shenanigans?
I think Shane is curious, looking out the windows. Do we see any revenants? Are they still hunting us down?
Are the revenants still hunting you guys down? I thought you asked Strahd to not have the revenants hunt you down.
Yeah, I mean, I still
Yeah.
have the green dot, and that's what that was for. So,
Oh, I mean, if you want to remove it, sure.
it works for me.
Yeah. All right. Anything happen today? Same question as yesterday.
Same as before.
Okay. Daniel.
Mhm.
All right. If you can grant this expertise, it would be pretty cool. But it is DC 20 to do so. So give me that investigation roll.
All right.
Mm.
And I add a psychic die to it. I hate to because they replenish every day.
I'll be transparent. You're at a 13. You can. I mean, it's a class ability that you have. So.
Okay.
Well, technically, it's in the moment. This would be like the
Yeah.
same as trying to use guidance for the whole day, and you
Yeah,
can't really use guidance for the. Yeah. All
that's
right,
why I
my
was
bad.
asking
Yeah,
to do
my bad.
that.
My bad. Yeah. So unfortunately, no. You don't again provide like a big benefit to it, but your help is still appreciated. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see what we got. Right. Trying to see if any of them would be reduced DCs. Let me see. Three checks in a 24-hour period. One player can assist. Okay. All right. You guys are able to get through 2 more chapters today. So that is Exanther 2 and Exanther 3. Which I will post. All right. Alrighty. Let's see. Xanther 2. Alright, we gather everybody up. And again, if there's any study time things, I'll mention that it happens specifically during the study time. Xanther 2. I have succeeded in granting my old battle armor the same form of sentience Xanther gave to his own. I have empowered it with my will and the might of storms, and instructed it to defend the castle. In great need, I may summon it to myself and don it with but a word, provided the damn thing hasn't stumbled off a parapet and shattered itself.
God damn it.
What?
This fucker has an Iron Man armor.
Well, yeah, why not? I mean,
Of course he does.
he said, listen, think of all the things Bill Murray did in Groundhog's Day. Now imagine if he was
Doing that by 1,000 times.
a high-level Valor Bard, immortal vampire. Yeah, so... alright. Xanther 3. Xanther's ambitions have claimed him. The Dark Powers never share their gifts easily. His body now lays headless upon the temple floor. I know not where his head has gone, but I must find it. As my architect, the remains of his memories hold value. And then there was a discovered footnote related to this, the remains of this passage that says stellar. P.S. Xanther is a fool to make his password his own name. Oh, my bad. It's also supposed to have this. I didn't copy the whole thing. A sign of his continuing mental decline. All right. Study time. Van Richten looks very thoughtful, and he says, well, I have heard that he is an artificer of no small merit. He has mastered the techniques of the second age of magic, of creating artifacts and magical items, constructs, and the like of great power by sacrificing his own life force to do so. And as an immortal who is bound to the land, he simply draws forth more power to replace it. In a way, he has an infinite capacity for the creation of magical things and items, now that he, and he taps the passage, has learned the techniques. This would explain much about what we have encountered, what you have encountered, and the nature of the castle. I think for him the castle is an object of great pride. I imagine that he fiddles with it, adding and subtracting, changing and enhancing. It would explain, perhaps, many of the dangers you have faced. This is not a power to be considered lightly, though you don't need me to say that. Thoughts, Daniel, Anna?
It's one
No?
more thing we'll need to deal with.
And here, how does this passage affect you, Daniel? You carry, I've heard the saying now, dark passenger, yeah? Even Strahd is feared of such a consequence. Does it not make your blood run cold? Or fill you with some measure of fear or regret?
Yeah. That kind of says, like, yeah.
Apparently, even this powerful lich who built this tower, whose power and control over magic would confound even archmages and perhaps gods themselves, has also succumbed to their power. And he looks over at Thought, and Thought just sort of looks away, just kind of moves, hops his whole body to look out the window. Thought, I will just put this out here while it is only the four of us, because you are a friend, and I do not want you to feel that we cornered you. But if you are an extension of Exander's spirit, as familiar, are you compromised in this way? Are you perhaps leading these people back to the Ember Temple as bait or a trap?
He has told us that he's been trying to cure Exander, and he gave us some ideas that he had recently. And I believe him. I don't believe him to be malicious. And if Tiernan believes him, then I believe him as well.
Fair point. Thought makes a croaking sound as his throat sac inflates as it clears his throat, and he says, well, I like to think that I'm the best part of whatever was left of my master before he, well, if you know your magic, then you know that I can't exist this far from him, but yet I do. I think that perhaps one of the last things he did with his sanity was set me free, set a part of himself free, out into the world to, I don't know, try and make right his terrible mistake. It's a lot of pressure for a frog.
If we cure Exanther, what will happen to you, Thought?
Well, I suppose I'll just go back to being his familiar proper, which is to say, directly under his control, with a slight variation of my own personality thrown in there to, counsel, challenge, advise, but ultimately a servant in the same way that your limbs are a servant to your body.
She leaves it at that.
The doctor cannot. He says, then Thought, have you considered just continuing to evolve into your own being? To take this piece of soul that you have been given and to live your own life? And Thought just kind of stares at him and is like, well, I've given it some thought, you might say. It just don't sit right with me. I think at the end of the day that the core of what I am is still a desire to set the mind that made me free. I couldn't find any continued joy in anything else. And the doctor nods and says, yes, many are a slave to their purpose. Many begin to walk a path that they cannot leave. Well, let us bring the others up. Let them weigh in on these words. All right, so everybody comes in. Does anybody have any insights?
I think actually in character, there's comments about the armor. This sounds pretty similar to, what is it, some comic book superhero that's back in our world. I guess you could say a vigilante or whatever, but there's this guy who is super smart, can make a bunch of stuff, and then one of the things he made was this power armor that he could put on without much effort.
And you know about Iron Man. He was pretty cool, but in the 80s he wasn't as cool as he is now, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have that kick-ass movie to kind of launch him into super coolness, but he was still pretty cool. If you were into Avengers, you knew that Tony Stark was cool, but not nearly as cool as he is now. Yeah, Tiernan nods. He says, yeah, Iron Man.
So the fact
he says storm, right? You think you can like shoot blast out of it and stuff?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, from all the other shit we've seen so far, can't leave that off the table.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Because I have armor that could shoot blasts out of it.
Wait, what?
I thought Irina gambled that away.
Oh, did she gamble it away? His plate armor? It's still on his sheet. I thought, okay. I mean, motherfucker's wearing it. Didn't he trade? He traded like a lot to get it back, I think. But like they couldn't get anything else back.
I think so.
Yeah.
Man,
because like he really didn't have anything else going for him besides being able to get hit.
Yeah, they did get some of the stuff back. I just don't remember what.
I know. Okay, now it's kind of reminding me. He did try and get back his shake weight flashlight.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't he trade the shake weight flashlight to get the?
Or is that the armor we got from the wagon?
That was the
no,
armor.
This is the armor from the wagon, guys.
Yeah.
Remember, you guys found a wagon, and the wagon had this.
That's where I got the halberd.
Yeah. And it had the dancing halberd. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to.
And I don't know if he's ever shared with you the fact that he has this armor.
No.
Or not that he has this armor, but that what the armor can do.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was like, wait, what?
Did that armor have? Did it have Strahd's crest on it or something?
Yep.
Hope it ain't that living armor.
Wouldn't that suck? But yeah, when he mentioned that that's what the armor can do, he just looks at Tiernan and like, boy, why are you wearing that then?
Oh, I need armor. You don't think he could just take it off of me, right? Whenever, like, I could just suddenly be naked at the most important time. You
better hope not.
Well, I don't want to wear armor if it's just going to leave me naked at a very important time.
Maybe we can find you something Kresik.
Well, I mean, no, this armor came from outside because I still have the delivery document. Like apparently all that stuff in that wagon came from outside Barovia. You know, that's what he's spending the taxes on.
Maybe
so he ordered another suit of storm armor?
I don't know.
I mean, if he can make one, why not make a bunch?
Right.
I guess in any case, we should probably just keep an eye on that thing.
Go keep an eye on my armor?
Yeah. In case it acts funny.
I mean, I'm always on watch. I'm pretty sure I would have known if the armor got up and started making a sandwich or something.
Just saying, man. Be careful.
Okay. I also wonder if in these idyllic days is like are people wearing their armor still? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess outside and practicing, you know what I'm saying? But inside the tower for story time, getting ready for bed, like you don't wear your heavy armor to bed. I mean, I'm pretty sure raw. It makes it so you can't get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
So yeah, maybe at this point the armor is just kind of set, you know, in the corner or something.
I mean, this place is anti-magic, so we wouldn't
Yeah.
see anything happening with it. But
Exactly.
the second we leave,
Rudolph looks at his dope ass armor as well, and you know he thinks his armor looks a little bit cooler. Just saying. This is his cool armor. Yeah.
kind of badass.
All right. Does anybody have anything to add about Exanther 2? Exanther's ambitions have claimed him, etc., etc. Does anybody who's harboring a dark passenger feel a certain, I don't know, trepidation at the fact that the allegedly the strongest spellcaster in the campaign succumbed to their powers, and the second strongest spellcaster in the campaign is terribly afraid of their power? Or are you just like, shrug?
That's a conversation that ain't gonna take place here.
Oh, okay. Alrighty.
AKA
Then...
ain't gonna take place on stream either, so.
Oh, okay. Then I guess you guys would head to bed. Right, here, I'll position corner. There we go. Yeah. All right. So same deal. Time passes. The next day, if there's anything noteworthy, otherwise if it's more of the same, Daniel, we could really use that D4, buddy.
I'm trying.
Hey. All right, now roll a really big number on this D4. Okay. Every little bit helps. All right, here we go. Okay, so all of them get a +2 bonus. That's very good. All right. Oh shit. Okay. Thank you, Daniel. That will take us to the finish line here. Give me a sec. All right. So with what is this? Oh, that's a lot of work just to get that same information. Hold on. Santa for untitled to players is a fool to make passwords. Okay, got it. All right. So apparently the footnote was a separate entry, so I gave it to you in advance. So you still, I think, would only get the 2 entries today: the final fate and then the secret at the end, which would only have been possible with Anna and Daniel's help. Van Richten says, and there is definitely a glow about Van Richten as if he has just had a baby, and the doctor's like, the baby is healthy. It's got all its fingers and toes. He looks so relieved and satisfied and tired that this process is finally at its end. All right, and so there are 2 entries here. The first one is Exanther's final fate.
Should be FVTT.
Yeah, right? I cannot be sure, but I believe his life soul to be stored near his chambers. I could pry and find it, but I fear that would lead to hostilities, which aren't worth my time as it stands. Little remains of his memory. I must record the passwords of the Ember Temple so that they do not pass into the mists of eternity. Davidon, Thangab, Shalks, Etherna. With a shuddering breath, Van Richten stares at the page and looks back at Daniel and Anna and says, we have such power here. Such secrets revealed to us. I do not know what the passwords are for, but I shudder to think what would happen to any who entered the Ember Temple without them. It also sounds like this life soul is likely the soul cage called in some places a phylactery, which is the source of Xanther's eternal life. Strahd knows where it is, but does not bother to find it and use it against Xanther. This means to me that there is still respect of student to master, or as his words claim, it's not worth his time. This would indicate that he feels Xanther in his current state, headless, confused, is no longer, or perhaps never going to be a threat to his plans or his power, but is still worth avoiding, yeah? What are your thoughts?
Anna looks at Daniel.
Daniel looks at Anna.
Yeah, Van Richten's the kind of college professor that just pulls like a loud stool, like a creaky old stool to the front of the room and just fucking sits there like a gargoyle and stares at the class. And then the only teaching he does is if someone asks a question about the reading, and then he just animates into like the best teacher in the world, gets the chalk out, starts like drawing diagrams, explaining shit, and then when he is done, all the animation leaves, he goes back to the stool and just perches there, waits for the next question. Like he's definitely like I want to know what the students think, what the students know kind of teacher. Not that he is a doctor of academia. I don't want anyone to think that. He's actually a real doctor. Sorry, you academic doctors. This guy's a real doctor. He's a medical doctor. All right.
Well,
So any
yeah, Anna would say, "Thought, do you know what is being referred to?"
Which part?
Oh, where his life soul is stored.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that's you got it. That's his soul cage. That's in order to live forever, they have to make a talisman, as it were, that grants them their invincibility, essentially. But the nature of magic is, you guys seen or read the fine work, Full Metal Alchemist? It's a good one. You definitely, if you haven't and you get the chance, just watch Brotherhood. It cleans up all the messy details. Anyways, it's all about exchange, right? So to become invincible, they need to have a weakness. So all of their weakness is stored in one very fragile thing, and that's their soul cage, or phylactery, if you, depending on where you're from. And then, yeah. So you need to You need to keep that safe. Now, some of the liches out there, they have like extra dimensional pocket dimensions. You know, you feed that shit to an astral dreadnought, and then you put a dungeon inside of it, and then, you know, you put contingency spells. So, like, if anyone actually makes it through the astral dreadnought living dungeon and they get to your soul cage, it just teleports away, disintegrates everybody in the room with a couple of meteor swarms. And then they're like, well, now we got to go to this other dungeon to get it. But then he's like 10 steps ahead of you because like there's no limit to the amount of contingencies you can cast. So we're talking like 30 or 40 levels of contingency. Anyways, all that started to get a little too confusing for him at the end as his mind started to unravel. So he just sort of stuck it on a shelf. So it was it's not the best move. I advised against it, but you know, what are you going to do when the marbles are rolling all over the place? Yeah, I'd prefer you didn't use it to kill him though, because you'd also kill me, and I think that, you know, we've established a pretty nice rapport here. So, anyways, as far as them passwords go, I don't quite remember what they're for, but I dare say that they might be the passcodes to release the prisoners.
I think as soon as he says that, Daniel's racing heartbeat suddenly has like a very large.
Yeah, Anna and Daniel. Thought says that you guys are like flooded with unwanted adrenaline and dopamine. Like, it's like they took one of them adrenaline shots, like Pulp Fiction style, and fucking just stabbed it through your sternum. Like the two of you are just like, oh! As your dark passengers like rail against the bars of your mental and physical prisons, like celebrating, rejoicing.
And a hugs Daniel.
Van Richten says, "Is everything all right?" Your dark passengers.
That was quick.
Hopefully they are not. He's a very smart guy. Hopefully they are not able to use this information within the prison. And then thought just running at the mouse says, "Oh no, they're gonna need someone from outside the temple to come in and free him." But now that they know them passwords, I mean, their next champions will probably just be given the passwords like right away. I mean, they'll just be like, "Yeah, get your asses up there." So that's shoot. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. No, think about it. Anna, Daniel, do me a solid and don't die, okay?
I'll see what I can do, yo.
No, I need you to. He hops over, and he extends his pinky on the front foot. He says, "I'm going to need a pinky swear." And Van Richten takes in a deep breath, and he says, "Thought it is inappropriate. Such an oath is stronger than a blood god oath. You would never ask for such a thing, would you?" And then he looks at me and he says, "I'm dead serious. Give me that pinky, Daniel. You too, Anna. Or at least promise me you won't use them passcodes to let your dark passengers loose."
I promise, Thought.
Do you pinky swear him?
If that's what he needs, then
He
yes, she does.
he needs it. All right. Van
She does.
Richten wants to look away, but he's very rarely seen a pinky promise performed, and he watches, wondering if the anti-magic of the tower will protect you from its binding magics. You feel no different afterwards, except your finger is a little slimy. Daniel, do you swear to him?
He'll look Thought straight in the eyes and just be like, "I'd rather die than let Sparky be Sparky's bitch." He'll pinky swear him.
Oh yeah.
Repeating his oath.
Okay. Fortunately, you're in an anti-magic zone, or Daniel, you feel that your dark power just tried to shocking grasp Thought to death. All right. Thought hops back to his windowsill. All right. Van Richten says, "All right. Here is the other entry. This was very difficult, as you know, for us to piece together. This was the section that was the most damaged. But this is the crux of what we have found. Vampire. He is my warden. This I have come to know in fullness. My dark passenger. The ancient spirits of hunger, temptation, and indulgence. As long as he is free, none of us can be. I am powerless against him. But someday, this land might find heroes worthy of such a task. It will be my place to train them, to test them, to break them, and to reforge them into something strong enough to seal away his darkness forever. This is not my atonement. This is my duty as lord of these lands.
Huh.
That's comforting.
All right. Van Richten has nothing to say. Do you have something to say, just Nerd Squad, or do we invite everybody in?
I think for this one we might need the whole
All right.
party.
So everybody's in, and they repeat the Exanther Final Fate and the Vampire entry. Does anyone have anything to add or discuss in our final meeting of book club?
I'm assuming the same thing happens to Darius when he hears the passwords.
Hold on. That's a great thing. Hold on. Van Richten would not share the passwords with anyone besides Daniel and Anna, and unless Daniel and Anna insisted the others needed to know. But he would explain that the less people who know these passwords, the better.
Anna's on board with that. She doesn't tell people
Okay.
things unless they need to know.
All right, Daniel?
The pinky promise holds true for now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to put a comment. Only Daniel and Anna know this. Okay. And thoughts. And Van Richten. You know, just 4 people. Okay. So yeah, your Dark Passenger would be excited at the prospect, and maybe they're going to say the passwords in the next passage.
But they tease.
I mean, you could ask, like, you know, what are the passwords if you wanted to.
You guys gonna continue or just leave it hanging?
Van Richten looks to Anna because he's not great at deception. Like, maybe Anna could smooth this one over.
It doesn't say. At least we're not there
Tiernan,
yet.
Tiernan watches you.
I'll challenge his insight.
Okay. All right, you're gonna go against his passive insight, which I believe is only an 18 actually. So I think you could do this. Darius, you're only trying to beat a 10. He's pretty easy to lie to. Shane's a 17 though, so you might want to watch out for Shane.
What did I do?
Hey, listen, you know how passwords are. The more people that know them, the worse. Especially if you're not in a position to change the passwords easily.
I mean, to be fair, Shane doesn't want any more responsibility right now, so he's like, yeah, I don't need to know.
I'm just looking to see if I can dump anything else into this. It's not going to work anyway because we're in anti-magic. Yay. All right, deception. There you go.
Okay, yeah. I mean, even Tiernan. Well, what is the lie that you tell?
This is the section of the book that's burned up still, right?
Yeah.
But then it's unreadable. Well, it's damaged and we're still working on it.
Okay. All right. Van Richten gives you a look, Daniel, that's like, this would be a good time for neither of us to contribute. All right, everyone in the room. I mean, Yeah. That sounds right.
Alright.
Tiernan says, "Oh, that's probably for the best. That would be dangerous information to get out. I don't think you should even bother finding the answers, though maybe we could use it or need it. Doctor, is it something that you could do without their help and, just have that information in case we need it later?" And then Irenia looks at Tiernan like, "Oh, he's so handsome and smart and wise and sexy. Oh, especially when he's being role played by the DM. Oh my goodness."
Anna looks at Van Richten like, don't go along with that.
Van Richten says, as Anne said, it's who knows if we could find that information. I am hungry for knowledge. Yeah, I would never want it to not go unknown. But it would mean leaving the book with me, which perhaps is safest for you. I feel that with his methods, Strahd is aware that you have the book. But if you were to let the book fall into the hands of others, it could endanger them. Yeah?
He knows we came here with it. He knows we stayed here a period of time with it. And then if we leave without it, he will know where it's at.
True.
I mean, it's
And
not
he's
like
a very smart man.
Well, it's not like he's looking in our backpacks, though.
Fair. Anyways, what do you make of this second section? The part about vampire.
Pisses me off.
Dr. Rudolph Van Richten nods at you. Like, yeah, he gets it, bro. Keep going. It's like you're at, like an AA meeting, and he's just like, yeah, this guy doesn't usually talk. Let's be encouraging. Kind of nods at you.
Train them, test them, break them, reforge them.
Yeah, Sedaris, you've heard him say these words, not in those exact words, to you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know, the Darius before the Death House wouldn't speak, wouldn't make eye contact, hit his face, stumbled through the motions of life, kind of just did what people around him told him to do, Do you feel that, would Darius be introspective enough to notice that, like, he is changed, like he is different than before?
I mean, his insight isn't particularly great,
right?
But I think even at a very base level, he understands that something has definitely become different for himself since being here, and definitely since having a new roommate with them. Things have been different. It was even called out as much, I think a couple sessions back, when Anna was saying, "Hey Darius, you've become a little bit more rude lately. What gives?" And Darius was like, "I don't feel like I should be bending my will to other people like that." And that's not something he probably would have said way earlier.
Yeah. What about you, Shane Masters? Do you think that Shane would hear these words and look at who you are now versus who you were before the misclaim you, and see a difference? And how would he feel about that difference?
I mean, Shane's definitely different than who he was when he first stepped in here. But I think the biggest thing, the biggest difference with Shane is, if you guys remember, he had these lofty ambitions of being a hero, and then decided that wasn't worth it after getting his ass handed to him by some vampire brides and imprisoned and beaten and tortured. So, he was a broken man.
But not killed.
What's that?
But not killed.
No.
Yeah.
He's definitely a survivor and kind of always has been. But now I think he sees that he's slowly being built back up by being with these people, even though he thinks a lot of them might be a little misguided. That, the idea of being a hero again is, he realizes how dangerous it is, but knows that the land desperately needs people to do that. And he feels drawn to this place more probably than, Milwaukee back home. So yeah, I think he's definitely different and changed, and sees the changes in others, but doesn't think he's changed nearly as much, obviously, as some of these people are. I mean, he doesn't have, glowing eyes or lightning powers or horns or, that kind of weird stuff. So he's, he thinks he's the normie.
Okay. Daniel, when you hear these words, do you think about the Daniel that was versus the Daniel that is? Does it have any impact on you?
Absolutely. The Daniel that was didn't give a shit about what the effect his actions had on anybody. It was never a thing. Even after he got here, he never weighed the risks, to himself or others. He always just thought, it's like, no, it'll all turn out, or we'll just move on. But ever since the castle, like, the idea of consequences and responsibility and blame have really, eaten at him. I mean, he would never band together with so many, like, disparate guys trying to, do all this stuff before. He would have bounced by now. And, it's left him really conflicted. But I think that conflict in him, that unwillingness to just go with, like, the flow like he did before, is kind of what's helped him resist a little bit, or at least distrust, like Sparky. Like, he wants so bad, part of him, the deep part of him, just to let it all out, but he also feels that shame and that guilt. It's like, yeah, these are great things, but I'm not good enough for these things. That's been, plus all the other stuff with Jenny and stuff, it's given him the fortitude to resist, to push back, and it's hard.
Wow. All right. Tiernan's player's not here. I can't speak for Tiernan, but I would say that my observation of Tiernan is I feel that Tiernan is the least changed of anyone. Yeah. Because, I mean, our establishing shot of Tiernan was trying to save a dying moose and having his fucking leg broken by the moose, which I feel like kind of just is the Tiernan tagline. Do you know what I'm saying? Try to do good, get wrecked. And I don't think he's stopped doing that. And also there's a recklessness about him, right? Of who the fuck in the year 2020, 3 is when you guys came here, 2022, something like that. In game time, who the fuck tries to deal with like a 800-pound moose blocking the road? Do you know what I'm saying? You call somebody for that, right? But Tiernan always feels called to action, which is why he almost died in a fire. Like he can't stop himself, right? He just rushes in. And I don't think that has in any way changed. I think even the addition of his Dark Passenger has only strengthened those good and bad behaviors. That's my take on it. So, Anna, how does Anna feel about all this?
I don't know how meta you want me to get here.
I mean, it's a role-playing opportunity, a storytelling opportunity. So whatever you think, works. What is her take? Like, how does she acknowledge that there is a difference between the Anna that was and the Anna that is? And, how does she feel about all this?
Oh, absolutely. Anna's been the slow burn of just crawling up from the gutter. She's witnessed some of these guys kill her son. Some of these guys were there when Jack died. All the people that found her and that she loved, like Reed and Eric and Mackenzie and Thomas and the others. She's seen all of them come and go. And these guys, she knows Barovia takes the weak because she grew up here. And she's been, in a way, sort of trying to make them weapons to do what needs to be done.
Oh, there's some parallels going on.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And she feels responsible for that. In a way. Because she's sort of the guiding hand in a lot of ways. A very, very unwise guiding hand, but a guiding hand nonetheless. And a lot of personally, a lot of changes occurred with her being very passive and just sort of in the background to taking a more forefront stance. And the biggest influence for that was Lady Fiona Walker.
Really?
You got to realize a lot. You got to realize a lot of the stuff that she said to Anna is when a lot of changes happened.
Is that because, and I don't mean to get super psychology on you, but is that because for Anna, her whole life has been at the mercy of men in authority, right? Where
yes, and it still is. in a way.
Yeah. So like your father basically sold you into indentured servitude. The people that you had to work for basically ever, the man of the house took advantage of you, groomed you essentially. You had to illicit child, or his bastard child. You got fucking killed by him. You got stuck as a ghost with him. You finally get out, and then you're essentially just a resource, a game piece on the board for another man in power, and then you pick up a dark passenger who is another man in power who seeks power and seeks to use you to sort of vicariously have that power. And over and over and over again, that theme of men in power kind of shitting on your life, and then you find this woman who has taken power for herself, right? Because normally the husband assumes the major leadership role, and the wife in Barovia assumes more of an advisory role. She has taken that power, and she is doing whatever she can to grow that power and take that power. And maybe that was like where you saw that you could be the one with the power.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. So then how would you feel seeing that in writing? You are basically in the Strahd von Zarovich hero workout plan. Like,
I think she's this is sad. I think she's proud.
okay. I think anybody who's been down low, down bad, that manages to no longer be down low, down bad, I don't think there's any shame in being proud of it, no matter how they got there. I'm gonna be honest. So I think that
it's not over with yet.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's certainly. I don't think that's a shameful thing. Like, maybe she feels ashamed to be proud of it, but yeah, makes sense. It makes sense. Oof. Okay. Do you guys have any, after your introspection, any discussions about the book, as the book will close and you will gain your milestone and become level 10?
And we'll have a quick conversation with Daniel.
Okay.
If he's open to it. She will genuinely hold you in an embrace.
Aww.
And sort of whispering, I don't know how creepy that is with a corpse hugging you.
Yeah.
I think it's low on the scale now.
After everything else, yeah. After everything else.
She's been pretty chill while we've been up here, actually, compared to the way it's been outside. So this is a little bit of a softer side of Anna. She will whisper to you, I know that I have not been very attentive to you, but your help with this book is immeasurable. I knew you were good at something. We just have to find it.
Oh.
She leaves it at that.
Yeah. Daniel thinks of his own sister and how much of a bitch she was. It's good to have a nicer one, in a sense.
Aww.
Yeah. But while he's there, I would like to do something I've only done once. I would like to reach inside, see if I can feel her passenger, because that's how I met Sparky.
So, in some ages of magic, psionics is dealt with in outside of magic, right? It's like a separate. Yeah. So
it doesn't
unless
work.
unless you guys were having this conversation on a walk outside, which is fine.
Yeah, I just
is that
it's not going to work here.
So
it's in here.
Okay, it's definitely in here. Okay, yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, yeah. That's maybe a conversation to have with him later then.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from anybody? Okay. Then I guess, burdened with knowledge, you would all sleep and you would wake up tomorrow morning, level 10, because that's how the Blood of Heroes fucking works. All right. It's a happy Saturday morning. Daniel, again, you have a dream of the hunt. Could you briefly describe to us what the dream was like?
He's running through the forest. There's something ahead of him. He can't quite see it. But he's running after it, and like he's running after it. I mean, I could go into great detail on the damage that's was done to his legs, which is why it's just the act of running, the exhilaration of passing through the forest unafraid, his adrenaline up, blood in his mouth, that focus, that clarity, as he approaches in for the kill and leaps, and then he wakes up.
Right. Beautiful. Whew. Okay. So what now, guys? You could try to stall your boy, but I mean, he heard that they're done with the book. So Emil would very much like to head out either today or tomorrow. And you want to talk about character growth? Emil approaches you, Anna, as you guys are, flexing your level 10 muscles, as it were. And he says, Anna, I understand the book is over, but I've grown to respect the way you do things. So, as long as we leave by Monday, I am still willing to wait.
So you want to spend the weekend here? We can do that.
I don't need to wait. I could go right now and win. If you need more time, that is what I was offering. If you needed more time, not if I needed more time.
Emil gets hit with that.
All right. Let's see. You're a reputed leader, a person to be trusted. You get expertise to have persuasion checks. Okay. So what do they have to do? Here, creature that makes an insight check opposed by your persuasion check. So give me a persuasion check. Oh my goodness. You'd have to really. Oh my god! Do you want to roll?
It's an advantage.
It's at advantage.
If he's considered friendly right now and lower level.
Oof, I would say at best he's indifferent.
Okay, I'll
okay.
use inspiration.
Okay. All right, so give me a fresh roll. Okay, wow, it was a close thing. First, you had a normal Anna and Emil interaction, but Emil, who definitely is okay with waiting because maybe he's a little scared, is like, damn, I hope she's pretty convincing here. Oof, she's making me mad. But then you're like, you bring it back out, and you're like, eh, and he's just like, okay, and he says, I'm sorry, there is a lot at stake. Let me know when you're ready to leave. And he walks away.
Take it.
Yeah. That feels like a win. That feels like a win. All right. I guess we'll just hang out outside the tower on these idle days. The last idle day? Question mark. You guys tell me. It's a sandbox game. You could just spend the rest of the campaign here if you want. I don't know. I mean, that would suck, but I guess I can't make you leave. What are you doing next? What are we queuing up? Where are we traveling to? What's our plan?
We're dealing with the werewolf stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so the goal is werewolves. All right. In that case,
I guess one of the
let's
things.
go to your map table. Right?
Yeah. To ask one of the things, because we keep forgetting each time the session has come up. I think we had told Van Richten about the magic circle that was found, and if he's gotten a chance to look at it.
He's gonna be honest. He did not head over to look at it, but he has done some research on it, and he has confirmed that it is a teleportation thing, and that according to Thought, the likely destinations are this tower, the Amber Temple, or the castle.
So still risky to even try and use it. All right, cool.
It's still risky. It's still risky, but
there's it down at least.
Yeah. Part of his caution came from Thought, explaining that the Guardians would likely, for lack of a better term, respawn after a certain amount of time. So it would be like him and a frog trying to solo 4 elemental guardians if they tried to go there in person.
Fair enough.
Alrighty. So, move you guys over to Le Tower. You guys are talking about heading to werewolf territory north of Krezig. Direct route? Sound good? Over the foresty mountains?
I had proposed we go to Krezig first.
Ah, okay. What, I mean, it's none of my business, I guess, but what is the goal of going to Krezig first? And bringing the, 2 evil werewolves that don't like Krezig and Krezig doesn't like with you?
Well, I told Emil numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And the Burgermaster's son should be at the werewolf territory. So a common goal, if they're willing to help us, we can help them get their son back.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna invite their ancestral enemy to go along with this fight for the right to rule?
It was an idea. I'm not sure how everyone else feels about it.
Well, I don't mean to ask in such a way that makes it sound like a crazy idea, but I mean...
I mean, there also would have been absolutely no point for me to have spared White Wolf or White Claw if that wasn't really the idea at that point.
Right, got you. Okay.
So Darius would bring it up to the others.
Do you bring it up to Emil and Zaluka? Or do you bring it up to the group absent of those two, like while they're out hunting and rutting, as it were.
Absent of those two first.
Okay. All right. Party?
I mean, I could pick up some silver bullets, but they're pretty expensive.
That wasn't the topic of the conversation, but okay.
It's at Kresik. It's where you said we might be going, so it's therefore topical, dumbass.
I'm asking to talk to the burgomaster about this. If you need to pick up supplies, whatever. Do you? Anyone else?
Anna is quiet.
Okay. Anna's quiet.
Yeah, Daniel, he'll explain to Darius that if we bring people from Kresik, Kirill might spin that as like another gang or, group, invading, encroaching. Yeah, it's like, it becomes less about, Emil taking control of the pack, as if we bring representatives of Kresik, it's going to be like, oh, you're bringing Kresik and those guys to take us over. It's an invasion, not a challenge.
So, with all the werewolves that we fought in the past, do you think we're up to just by ourselves?
Oh, no, I get you. I mean, numbers, whoa. I'm just looking at the geopolitics of it. I know, right?
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Now, if we went to Harathnaim and got some of their, hunters to back us up, I mean, that might not have the same thing, but that could also still maybe be, allies invading. I don't know.
All right. Well, since... Go ahead.
I guess it all depends on how savvy Kirill is.
No idea. We've not met the dude.
No.
We know he was able to, I guess, trick a meal, but he was getting a meal, so...
I mean, I guess our advantage is that we are technically unaligned. So we might be more welcoming as supporters to the challenge.
If that's the case, then let's be ready for a fight.
So we're going to go straight there?
If we're not heading to Kresik, then let's just go straight there.
Okay, we got a little bit we have some preparation to do. I'd like to make a meal. Not e-meal, but a meal.
Right. It is, to Kresik, it is a 7-hour trip, which would be 2 rolls on the fast travel, or 8 checks for random encounters, so you can kind of pick your poison there. If you're going direct, though, it would be 10 miles on road and 18 miles of forest and mountains. Direct there. Okay. So anyways, I'm just going to calculate that while you do your whatever you are doing. But I'm saying that leaving today may or may not be important, but we can always rewind to your departure time. But assume that you did, make preparations and all that jazz. So take it away.
Anna's going to do crafting for magical cooking. First time in the campaign. Had it forever.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's do it.
So she has the werewolf alpha heart from the great backpack explosion when the mods died. And I don't need the heart. I would like to use the blood that may be left over inside of it.
Now, this is the heart that you guys have sealed in a wooden box of snow, and you keep, like, repacking snow as needed?
She will preserve it the only way she would know how, and since it's magical cooking, I don't know. It's
That would be salt. Yeah, that'd be salt. Well, there was we ran into this issue on Thursday. Actually, all of their werewolf hearts had gone bad because they didn't have a good way to store them and prepare them. So if you were keeping it for the purpose of, did you guys use that one?
Yeah, for the ritual.
For the ritual.
Darius
okay.
and Mackenzie ate a regular one.
Well, then I'll use the. Oh, you guys used them all. Darn. Okay.
Okay.
No worries.
All right.
Yeah, because we had to eat werewolf hearts in order for the ritual to take place.
Okay. Yeah, my FBI agent's probably disturbed because I had to look up how long a human heart takes to decompose. It's 6 to 8 hours, guys. They go quick, apparently. They go quick. So, I would assume then for any cooking meat that you would be storing, you would be salting it. That makes sense to me. So, we'll assume, since you are into the magical cooking, that any perishables are just salted for preservation purposes. So, natural preservative, you might say. So, do you have any other meats on you that you want to cook for this meal, or?
No, it's all been purged eventually. Someday I will.
Okay, someday.
Oh, didn't you harvest some meat from those flying heads in the castle?
Oh my god!
I have those, yeah, but we're not going to be fighting undead.
You could make bone marrow soup.
Well, those were actually fiends.
Well, I don't think we're going to be fighting fiends.
Well, you hope not. Okay.
So your idea was for humanoids for this meal, right?
If we had some, I'd feed it to you.
Werewolves are shape changer. They're in the shape changer category. Let's see. Right? No, they still count. Oh, it's a subcategory. 5e. I love you. Yeah. So they are humanoid still, and then they are also sub Pokemon type shape changer. So yeah, why? What are you offering? You gonna offer like your arm or something for dinner? What's the play here? Like how far from God have we strayed? I was just curious.
I don't think we have anything appropriate. I don't think we would be brave enough to ask anybody. She might ask Emil for his heart, but I don't think he'd say yes.
So you've got to leave pretty quickly. The reason that he wanted to leave on the morning, on Monday morning, is because it will take you guys 2 days to get there. It's going to take a full 16 hours to get from the tower to the werewolf den. That's using the road and then traveling overland. If you were not so direct and you got closer to Krezk, like within view of Krezk, before heading up, let's see, you could lower the journey to a day and a half, but you would be within sight of Krezk. I just mentioned that because Krezk plus a meal could be a chemical reaction.
That's fine. I was just looking to see what everyone else thought.
Yeah, it sounds like Emil wants to do this on the full moon.
Well, he wanted to get there before, he wanted to get there before the full moon. His compromise for listening to you guys was that it would be cool to do it on the night of the full moon. Yeah. But, he definitely, to give you a bit, of behind the scenes, he definitely was trying to go while his courage was still up. Like, because this is like a pretty high stakes thing, right? He's going to live or die one way or the other. So, okay. So I guess the question here is, anyone opposed to the 2-day journey that avoids Krezk? Going once, going twice.
Wait, sorry, repeat that again.
Is anyone opposed to the 2-day journey instead of the day and a half journey that allows you to avoid Krezk? Going once, going twice. Okay. Then it's gonna be 4 checks, because a day, a night, another day, and a crossroad. If you fast travel, or 25 random encounter rolls, some of which will be in the mountains. Which would you prefer? Fast travel? Is there anyone opposed to fast traveling? Going once.
so
twice.
bad at it, guys.
Wait,
All right.
I'll do it, but
Okay. Let's see. My classic group has like a barbarian, a bard, and 2 rogues, and they're like, fast travel's the best. We just get free shit, guys. Like, this is amazing. All right. Let me grab the fast travel chart. But like, these DCs are so low. A 20? LOL. Yeah.
Hey, Will, we're not listening to you.
What did Will say? What did Will say?
He's in chat saying, think of all the loot for this 25 encounter.
I mean, there's a lot of good shit. There could be some good stuff. You guys are so strong. I mean, even if it's not a badass fight with good drops, it's just gonna be some yard trash. You're just gonna spank it. It's been a while since we had a poll. Why don't we throw up a poll real quick? All right.
Is there any way we can cut that down to a few and then do fast travel for the rest?
Nope. And the fast travel is going to be a DC, I believe, 18 plus because mountains are involved. Normal travel, 25 plus checks. All right.
it's a 1 night rest. With
It's
the
just
25 checks.
Yeah, it's 1 night. So 8 of those will happen at night. Yeah.
I mean, we have radar dish Tiernan for the night stuff.
Well, we got 3 out of 4 voting for fast travel, so I guess we're doing fast travel. All right. So Tiernan, you get to sit this one out, homie. You got a sore throat. There you go. And go. And then we will let fate decide. Daniel's up first. Unless, well, yeah.
What the hell is this?
What's what?
Fate has decided.
Yeah, there's a mod that I can just, we discussed this last week. You might have been like coked out from Unicorn Overlord or something, but yeah. The initiative tracker doesn't let us roll initiative anymore.
I remember. Okay, I didn't realize what this. Okay, that's tied to this.
Yeah, that's what the fates look like. They're just 3 very sexy women. 3 very sexy women. See, in this painting, you can see that there's 3 very sexy, beautiful women that are just doing a professional job at their job.
1, you've mentioned sexy too many times, and 2, I've seen your Odyssey games. I doubt so hard.
No, these are very sexy women. All right, ask Philippicles. Okay, so, Daniel, I'm gonna move you up the initiative order. There we go. So start things off for us, Daniel. What are you doing to contribute? Oh wait, we have to figure out what the overall weather on your journey is like. Oh, that sucks. It adds a +5 to the DC. You are dealing with storms and blizzards the whole way. Good stuff. All right, so mountains is DC 18. So these are DC 23, Daniel. I'm sorry,
All right.
Anna. I'm so sorry. All right, Daniel, what do you got for us?
Well, if the weather's stormy, I'd like to think Daniel would have advantage.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, do you want
But
advantage?
he'll do a survival check. Helping forge trails. Clear debris.
I guess I should ask: does Daniel want advantage to this check? Since
No.
it's so stormy and bad? Because
No,
I mean, I definitely know someone that would give it to you.
Yeah, he's very much done with his bullshit.
Okay, well then perhaps because of your refusal to get help from a friend, you fail terribly. That's gonna be 2 fails. All right, Darius, how are you contributing to this DC 23 fast travel challenge?
Oh boy. Yeah, I guess just power through as best he knows.
Okay.
So athletics, I'm gonna burn. I'll burn a DM inspo for this. Or advantage.
Okay. All right, that is going to be a normal success. All right. Play will pass to Shane Masters. Shane, this is a difficult journey. Maybe the most difficult overland journey you've ever had. How are you going to assist?
Shane is going to attempt to utilize the cover of the storm and go stealthily and kind of, help scout ahead, cover the tracks, make sure that I follow that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure. All right, go for it. Okay, that is not going to succeed. It's close, but a 19, not on this journey. 19 is normally more than enough, but this is a rough journey. Okay. And then finally, Anna.
I'd like to follow the expert.
Right? I
let's see.
finally watched it used effectively, and my life has been changed forever. Oh my god, it's so good.
Okay, so 23 is what I gotta get. Holy
Yeah, and you don't want to get you don't want to get a 13 or less, or it'll be 2 failures.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, since it's snowing and we have a wagon full of stuff, can I use sleight of hand to make sure that it's tied down? We don't lose anything.
Oh yeah, I've heard such things are done in travel before.
All right, here we go.
Again, a bard and 2 rogues. All right, you do your best trying to keep everything strapped down and not blown away by the storm. But this is, Anna, the hardest journey you guys have ever taken. This is like when the little hobbitses and the men's, they were climbing on the side of that mountain, and then Gandalf was like, damn, bro, these motherfuckers gonna die. Guess we're gonna go to the haunted dwarf cave. Yep, like that's how bad this was, climbing up these snowy peaks and haunted forests. All right, I am gonna need 5 D100 rolls, and I will build for you an incredible journey. Which, while it takes a little bit of time to build one of these, I still kind of prefer it to potentially 25 random encounters. Though sometimes, if it's a very difficult journey, I often wonder if it is better to just risk the dangerous random encounters. Let's see.
We will use this as an example when the next time it comes up.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So you had 1 success, so I'll add that. And then the rest are a bit not as great. So let's see how they go. I need 2 more rolls, please. Okay. That's good. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll delete this last one. All right. 75. Ooh. Okay. And then oof. Rough journey. Okay. Let's see. Can I get like 4 D50 rolls? Is anybody willing to throw out some D50s for me real quick? I could roll them. I was just wondering if anybody wants to have a hand in their own fate.
Go for it, Daniel.
Okay. We got 1, 2. We need 2 more.
Second.
All right. Need a 4th one. Don't be scared. Okay, good. All right. right. Oh, okay. Rough. All right. So, how best to do all this up? The one good thing is that you do find a good place to rest. And so, you would already, I'm assuming, all that downtime, you would all be well rested already. So you would all gain an inspiration because despite the journey, you're traveling with 2 natives to the area, and they do find a cave that protects you from the storm. It is warm, it is dry, and it makes for an excellent place to rest and recuperate. So you guys would have either cured an exhaustion, gained a well rested, or if you were already well rested, gained an inspiration. So that's nice. That's nice. Now, here's the problem. The relentless weather. It's not snow. It is icy rain, and it just clings to everything. So I'm gonna need a con save of 23 to avoid ending the journey with exhaustion. So everybody gives me a con save 23, or you gain exhaustion at the end of the journey, which for all of you would just probably mean you lose your well rested. Con save. Nope. Okay. All right. So just make sure that you have no exhaustion unless you have an effect that makes you keep exhaustion. And then that. All right. Let's see. I need the 4 players that are here to do a roll off. Shane, you should roll twice. And then the highest number is the winner. Unless they don't want to be the winner, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I guess I would have. I don't
That's
know
what I'm
if it's
saying.
advantage or disadvantage on the roll, but I get
Yep,
to choose the.
Yeah, I said Shane Master should roll twice.
Oh, sorry, I didn't miss that.
Yep. All right, and we get a roll from Anna.
It's the 10.
It's what?
There's a 10.
Oh, is it 10? Oh, there it is. Oh, it was before the well-rested buff. My bad. All right, Darius, give me a D10 roll. Your maximum hit points is decreased by 7 as you are racked by dreams so terrifying that you spend the night paralyzed by fear. Can you describe to us what that was like? What was your paralyzing dream about? I'm willing to offer a DM inspiration for it.
Hold on a second. Okay. Paralyzing.
Right, a dream that would be so terrifying, it would be like a combination of like sleep paralysis, night terrors. Like, this is maybe one of the scariest dreams you've ever had.
Man, this is so weird because Darius has so many things that can prevent fear.
I know, but when you when there's certain people visiting you and feeding on you, I mean, maybe they're just getting good at pulling out the juiciest morsels that you keep locked away.
Well, they're feeling good on Darius. That's 10 hit points they've taken.
There is a character in Nightfall that is missing 44 max hit points.
Never mind, I can't complain.
They're the frontline tank.
Oh, sweet. I think this is a continuation. I think on the first time this occurred was Darius transforming further and further into some sort of creature that was consuming his friends, consuming all others as he marches his way to the castle. And I think this time, not sure how it happens, but now he's starting to see people that he knows from Earth also a part of this. His parents, his uncle, other friends and family. He sees himself in a city, and he is consuming and then transforming the remains of the consumed into more.
And this is like you are watching yourself do this, but you can't do anything to stop it, kind of deal.
Yep. He is a. Oh man. What's the name of that movie? Jordan Peele. It was one of his first horror ones.
Nope. Was it Nope? No, not Nope. Was it Get Out?
Get Out.
Okay.
The scene where I think I can't remember the character's name. Jeez, I'm so bad at this.
Oh, no, I got you.
But essentially, he's just in the chair and his body is just paralyzed, and he just is watching everything happen, and he just can't do anything about it. And yeah, he is just watching the scene unfold.
Fair enough. Okay. So that night, as you guys are sleeping, you wake to dark skies, and it feels like what passes for the mockery of the sun is taking its time rising today. The moon refuses to set and hangs heavy in the sky, but being so far away from civilization, there is a vast and terrifying starry sky above. This unusual darkness lasting so far into day begins to fill everyone with unease, and it is taking a toll on morale. I need somebody to roll a d20. On an odd, everyone will have disadvantage on their ranged attack rolls until the end of your next long rest, because the after image of these alien stars, you cannot seem to shake them, and they are a distraction. Or your minds are clouded and your memory becomes hazy, as all you can think about when you go to recall knowledge checks or do any sort of knowledge checks are these alien stars that lingered when they shouldn't have. So who wants to be the one that rolls the d20? Odd, ranged attacks, even knowledge. I need somebody to roll it.
You want the honor, Shane?
I guess not. All right, I'll just take the first one I see in chat. Daniel, even. Okay. So, because of the starless night, everyone's memory is hazy and unreliable. They have disadvantage on all knowledge checks until the end of their next long rest. Okay, and then the final thing that happens is, in addition to the icy rain, there is also a terrible fog that settles in, and the fog brings with it creatures that live and hunt in the fog. Don't worry, this isn't a combat encounter, it's way worse. I need everyone to choose an item, weapon, tool, or material that is necessary and needed for the task at hand. And we will generate a roll table with those things. I'll volunteer for Tiernan. He says the entire wagon. Damn, Tiernan. That's fucked up, bro. All right, so what's everybody else contributing? Anna's pack. Damn. What a flex. Yeah, oh my god. All right. Oh, Shane's bullets. Jeez, you guys are incredible. Okay. Daniel and Darius. The map to the Amber Temple. Christ. Okay. All right. What do you got, Darius?
Jesus Christ, guys.
Your true silver cestus. Okay, so your primary weapon is that
the weapon
okay.
I was gonna use against these guys, but I mean.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's pertinent. That's pertinent. All right, so we're gonna roll a d5, and we'll just take them in the order that they are listed. So let me, let's see, wagon, pack, bullets, map, LOLs. We won't steal your laughter, Anna. There we go. Oh no. Okay, so you guys trusted Tiernan. Trusted him. He was supposed to keep watch on everything. But when you wake in the morning, the wagon has been vandalized, broken, and shattered to the point that it is destroyed. The gear in the wagon has been scattered all about the entrance to the cave. It's going to take several hours to retrieve the equipment. There is a chance that some of the equipment will not be recovered, and there's no way to repair this wagon. You're just going to have to buy or build a new one. So, do you... I mean, the wagon has a lot of stuff on it, so do you spend the time to try to get the wagon stuff?
The weapons, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Yeah.
fair enough. All right.
The other stuff, it's up to you guys.
All right, I guess I'll put all the bullets on my person.
All right, yeah. So start divvying up the wagon. I'm going to say that if you are putting in the time, it would be probably impossible for Tiernan to fail this roll, especially with help. So yeah, with a 29 perception, he is able to track down all of your equipment, but the process does take 5 hours, which will push you into another night of camping. So I'll need another D100 roll to see if anything else happens. Let's see. Of the 4 of you, who must provide this going into round 2 of travel? Darius. DC 23, diminishing returns on repeated skills for the challenge.
Athletics I used previously.
I mean, you could still. I mean, even with the increased DC, it might still be your best bet. It's up to you.
Yeah. And repeat, it increases by what, 2? For each time's use? Or we don't know that?
Alright, hold on. Where's my document? Here we go. So I believe, yes, it increases by 2 each time for diminishing returns.
It's possible. Screw it, I'll do it again.
Okay. Are you using inspiration or no? No, you don't have to. Oh, you didn't. I guess you didn't have to. You got 23, but that is not a 25. It could be, though.
It could be, but I have the facts for it.
But then you'd be... Yeah, that's true. And facts would be pretty good.
And it doesn't go up at level 10, is it? I can't remember.
Yes, at 10, it's D10. D10 at 10. Yep.
Alright, I'll burn it. Exactly what I needed.
All right, then give me a D100 for something good that happens after losing the cart. Okay. Okay. That's fun. All right. Wait, why is there talking in this music? Why would they put that in there? I'm so confused. I'll pick different music. It was such good music, though. So while you are traveling and dealing with all this stuff, let's see, who would, you know what? Emil will share with you. It says that you learn a local legend that may prove useful in your journeys. Right. It's just horse sounds. Man, I need to have like good like exploration music. This one's pretty good. Might be one of the best. All right. So, what story would Emil tell you guys that would be useful to you? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He would say, have I told you the story of Roderick the Red?
Nah, we met him in the castle, but he wasn't exactly a talkative type.
What did you make of him?
He doesn't like Strahd, but seems to be working with them. I can get the feeling.
Yes, well.
And we've been slowly meeting the other people in his party. That fucking Minotaur. And then that little girl with the dragon.
Mm-hmm. Did you run into the gnome?
There's gnomes?
Yes, small folk with big ears and nose, mustache and beard. He is a druid, but far different than the druids of these lands. He is an outsider and possessed of powers that our local druids could only dream of. But this is not his tale. Some who are pulled through the mist are not outsiders at all. They are simply being brought home. Roderick the Red, his mother, she was a wolf of great influence and power. She ruled over bear wolves of the north, and for a time, they were on good terms. The wolves of Kresik. Alas, the Dark Lord, sensing that a unified force of werewolves could prove difficult, not just to his reign, but to his ideal of Barovia, which is to say, a cursed shithole. He had her killed. Volenta did the deed. Aided as she was by her patron Baphomet, Lord of Beast, but she was assisted in the task by Anastasia as well. Unknown to them, she had a pup who had been secreted away through the mist. For it was foretold by Mother Night that her blood spilled would unify the wolves and bring about the destruction of the Dark Lord. Well, every werewolf who came and went, they tried to play at being her pup, play at this synergy, but the seers and the augurs, they understood that there was more meaning in the words of her spilled blood. Her child red as blood. Eventually, Roderick found his way back. Brought with him allies. Ironically, he had no idea that his birthright waited for him here. But such is how prophecies go, I suppose. Anyways, he grew in strength and power. He's trained as something called a blood hunter. It's like monster hunter, I guess. His allies were strong and fierce, and that was he. But in the end, well, you can see. He was unsuccessful in uniting the wolves. And apparently, in his attempts to destroy the Dark Lord. Now, he is a lapdog of Kessel Ravenloft, a lickspittle, a beaten dog, fed scraps. He comes by from time to time to play at power, to check in on us. But I wonder if there is any fight left in him. I wonder if it's not too late for that prophecy to be complete. And I often wondered in my cell if those beliefs were somehow heard by the Dark Lord himself. And that is why he and Kirill conspired to remove me from power. I don't know. But I thank you for saving me and for giving me this chance to reclaim what is mine. And I swear to you that I will unite Barovia. The blood of the wolf. I will help you destroy your enemies.
I wish you the best of luck, Emil.
I would like to say that luck does not matter, but it always does. Okay. So, have you guys figured out your cart situation?
Anna's gone through the stuff that she's going to grab. I'm leaving it up to you guys if you want to bring it or not.
Okay.
Tiernan's going to need to grab his weapons back.
All right. Alrighty. Let's see. He will grab. So, did you deleted the stuff that you took, or when you dragged
Yes.
from you to the?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So he will take the healer's kits, unless anybody tells me to stop. There's extra cold weather clothing that might be important. Let's take that. All right. Climber's kit, just in case. Just in case. Let's see. Herbalism kit. That's important.
Tiernan, do you think we're going to need some rope?
Oh, I mean, have we ever? Oh, I see. Because yeah, all right. He grabs the rope.
Good boy, good boy.
Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of cold weather clothing here. I guess the cold weather clothing that has you guys' names on it should be on your sheets, or you'd be dying right now because you're in a blizzard. So, Daniel, do you have your?
Oh, I grabbed one from there. I guess I didn't grab mine.
All right. Well, I'll delete the one that says Daniel. Okay. Shane, you have cold weather on you?
Yeah, I just took Shane, so you can delete
all right,
his
I'll
too.
delete that one. Anybody taking these silvered crossbow bolts? I think I'll just drop them on Irenia.
Go ahead.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
for sure she should have.
Dropping them on Irenia.
Guys, we're ever gonna use this jar of honey?
I mean, Irenia sees you getting ready to leave the honey behind. She throws that on her sheet. Okay. Food? Tiernan looks around. All right, I'll carry the food. It's not like I'm here to say no. I'll just carry whatever you want. You want me to
I
carry
don't know,
the tent?
Tiernan. You're the one that lost the wagon, so maybe you should carry some of this.
I'm the one that lost the wagon. It was a loud storm, and there wasn't room in the cave for the cart. Okay, Shane, you're gonna have to take your own bedroll.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
that.
Here, he gives it to you. Let's see. He looks at this and he feels awkward, and he was gonna offer the key to Dirt's Manor to Anna, but then he's like, I'll just keep it. All right.
If someone
Bulls-
wants Shane's Climber's Kit, they can take it.
Oh, did you have one on you and then you put it
No,
back in?
it's on the wagon.
Oh. Oh yeah, he already took that and deleted it. Does it still say that it's there? Oh no! You guys had 2 climbers kits. He ain't taking 2 climbers kits. That was gonna get left behind.
Yeah, he's got Daniel's climbers kits already.
All right.
Is anyone taking the Barovian map? The map of Barovia?
We got the better map now.
Isn't that the same one?
No, the map of the Amber Temple's the nice one we've got now.
You're willing to offer that up?
It was a gift from Baylor. It has deep personal, meaning and value.
Okay.
No, I'm saying the one with the Amber Temple, you're saying is the good one we're using now, and you're willing to offer that up.
I think in the end, thought can get us there. We lost it.
I just imagine.
By the way, Thought stayed in the tower with Van Richten. Did you want Thought to come with you guys? Because
nah, he didn't.
Okay.
I mean, if we don't take the map, do we lose the map?
So here's the problem, and Nathan can sort this out next week because it's not my fucking.
How overweight is he?
He is at 190 currently, which puts him into heavily encumbered.
So he's moving at 10.
He needs it. Yeah, which means you'll have to do another travel check as he just trudges through the snow. He needs someone to take he needs to get rid of 20 pounds of gear.
Like 5.
The climbers.
All right. So the rope is a pretty big offender. They're 10 pounds a piece of these 50-foot hempen rope. I own 50 feet of hempen rope. I can tell you right now, maybe it's because it was made in the modern times, but it don't weigh no 10 fucking pounds. But hey, this is the world we live in. Let's see his heaviest items. There's also a stack of healer's kits that are kind of weighing him down.
That should be spread across.
Okay.
And,
all right, so he'll give 1 healer's kit to Irenia. It gave her both. All right. Daniel, can you add a fresh healer's kit to your sheet?
And then if there's anything left over, I would suggest that every other character has at least 2 charges of a healer's kit.
All right. He's got his brewer supplies, and I think that he could be easily convinced that you don't have time to brew anything, Tiernan. You probably just need to leave those behind. They weigh 9 pounds.
Yeah.
All right. So he'll leave his brewer's kit behind. That puts him just under heavy encumbrance. It's unlikely that Tiernan's going to be able to fireman carry anyone to safety while he carries so much shit. But there we are. All right. Now remember, you don't need a bedroll when you sleep, but if you don't have a bedroll, it makes it harder to recover resources and stuff. But when you're fast traveling, that kind of gets hand waved anyways. So you would only really need bedrolls if you are traditional camping, which can only be done with exploration travel. So if you guys are looking to offload 7 pounds, you could just leave your bedrolls behind.
I'd rather have it than not have it.
I mean, I think we all feel that way about a lot of things, but
yeah, we need our special blankets.
Okay. Does Darius have enough strength to carry 1 coil of rope?
I already have a coil of rope.
Oh, okay.
Carry a second coil of rope? Yeah, I could carry. Well, I'm already into encumbered.
Emil says, "Give me the rope. I will carry it." And so, yeah, he hands it over to Emil. And he looks at Emil and he says, "Oh, thank you. I don't know why it didn't occur to me to just ask the really strong werewolves if they would carry things." And then Lucas says, "Because when we transform, like, all of our equipment just falls on the ground. But I guess walking there, I can carry some stuff if it's going to slow us down otherwise." Alright, so that is sorted. And you leave the cart behind. Goodbye, cart. I am deleting you. Boop. A la carte no longer exists. But on the bright side, y'all made it to the werewolf camp. I mean, it took 2.5 days, and you lost your cart, and it was kind of an ordeal, but you didn't have to roll 25 checks. Nobody got critically hit by a random enemy and had their fucking kidney destroyed. So, I mean, you know, it's pretty good. All right. Let's advance the day. 1, 2. Then you would have had to sleep, and you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there on the day of the full moon. There you go.
Gonna be a wild night.
Well, can't really run away now, can we?
Right. Yeah, because this is also Daniel's big night.
Well, that, and we're all weighed down with equipment, so moving slower, so we're in it.
Yeah, you are in it. I've heard it said that you're a part of this now, so no getting out now. All right, yeah, with your slower speed, you'd probably get there in the afternoon time, if I'm being honest. Okay. All right, so afternoon, you arrive. God damn, that's a lot of encumbrance I'm seeing. Okay, that's fine. It'll be fine. It's not like you guys have to do any fighting. You're just here to support a friend, right? Right? Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
Okay, just checking. All right. Let's see. Where's that werewolf den? All right.
Zaluka, is there a position above, like for sniping, just in case?
What do you mean, just in case?
Like if a fight breaks out and we need backup, or from.
So that you can attack from hiding?
Basically.
You see that mountain? You can climb up there, I guess. It would probably be good. You could take that thing in your backpack with you. It will probably just upset everyone anyways.
That's a great idea, Zaluka. Shane, you should go up there.
I guess I will perch up.
Talto says my presence might upset them as well. I will go with you, Shane Masters.
Sounds good. In case they, find my position and come for me, it'd be nice to have some backup too.
All right. Shane, give me an athletics check.
My best.
To show that you were able to climb up this icy mountain at the tail end of a blizzard.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm gonna use.
I mean, I know this ain't Pathfinder 2, but sometimes in 5e, a character can't do it all.
Yep, I'm gonna do inspiration to get advantage on my straight roll.
Sure.
Because his strength is, average. All right, here we go. Advantage on a strength or athletics check.
Oh. Holy shit! All right. Talto says, impressive. You do a lot of climbing?
First time.
Your first time ever climbing anything?
I mean, ladders and stairs, but.
Okay. You guys make it to the top of the mountain. And he's like, let me see. What can I do to conceal us?
I can help him out with my stealth as well, or sleight of hand, or survival.
Yeah, you guys, yeah, sure. He will assist you and give me a survival check to set up rocks and snowdrifts in such a manner as to hopefully disguise your presence. Okay, you feel pretty good about it. And then, yeah, give me a stealth check.
Stealth.
Yep.
Okay. Does this one have advantage?
It does not. Does not. Okay, you feel pretty good about you guys in your little sniper nest up there. Okay, you guys give them about 30 minutes or so before deciding to make the actual approach. All right. Where's
Quick
your...
conversation with Zaluka, if possible.
Oh yeah, sure. You kind of you trail back. It was almost 3 days journey to get here. So
Anna will bring up Zaluka. I know in the past you've received visions about us, and we received the same vision about you. I too believe that Mother Night influences all things. And I want to
I meant to ask you, Anna. I have never heard Emil speak so plainly and so openly about Roderick the Red. What did you make of that?
I think that the werewolves have their own stories, just like all people do. And maybe Emil, for as blustery as he is, actually paid attention to that particular story.
I know him well. He spoke with regret. He would have been a much younger man when it happened. A boy, barely growing into adulthood. I remember it as well. There was a dangerous excitement when it was discovered he was the true heir.
How old is Roderick? Or how old did he look when we saw him?
Oof. Dude looked like he was like cruising into his 50s. He had that sort of Geralt of Rivia, I could be any age, but I definitely ain't young no more, kind of look to him.
I see.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about you, Zaluka, instead of Emil. I want to remind you that Mother Night didn't give Emil visions. She gave you visions. She gave us visions. Please remember that.
All right. You see like kind of some question marks appear above her head, like, sure. Like, yeah, okay. And she says, Anna, can I confide in you?
Always.
If Emil does not win the challenge, I will challenge Kiro.
I think that is something to keep in mind.
I need you to understand that the others, they've probably fallen in love with me a bit. My human form is enticing, especially young Daniel. I notice sometimes the blushings of sexual attraction, even though we are friends. I worry that if I risk my life like that, he will do something desperate, and he will already be dealing with the changes of lycanthropy.
Does he know this?
Yes. Wait, which part?
The part about defending you if need be.
No, I don't want him to defend me. I don't need to worry about him while I'm fighting for my life. You are like the Den Mother. Can I trust you to keep him safe, even if he tries to interfere?
I will try.
He was an impertinent pup when I met him, but I see the strength that is inside. It is sought after by many. And then she gets like a wry smile on her face, but I have claimed it for myself.
It's taken some time for me to see what Daniel's good at as well. He's very restless and some ways impulsive, but
He He's trapped in that broken body. But I will fix it tonight.
I think you've been a good influence on him.
Oh man, she just inflates with pride when you say that. And she's like, I do consider myself a den mother as well.
You should remember that for the times to come.
Right.
And then, if Daniel doesn't know about that, Anna will let slip to Daniel what Zaluka intends.
Oh, okay. So this is, again, 3 days of travel.
She might just point to her head and be like, Daniel, let's do this telepathic thing. So
okay.
It's not obvious. And do you know about her potentially challenging Kirill if Emil doesn't win?
Well, yeah. I mean, she did kind of mention that at the tower. I think that's
Daniel, I saw a crown on Emil's head at the tower. I'm not going to let that happen.
Shit. Yeah, his expression totally changes when you see that. It's like, no, I guess we can't.
If Kirill wins, that's likely the best outcome for the first fight. Do you understand?
Yeah, he nods.
And Zaluka is important to me like you are all important to me.
Oh.
I don't know what's going to happen.
And he gives you a smile of his own and pats you on the arm and says, "We're gonna go in there and kick ass. That's what's gonna happen."
I believe you, Daniel.
We'll work on that.
And that's all I got.
All right. Last call to say anything, otherwise Emil's going to wolf out and howl loudly to announce your arrival. Going once. Going
Darius
twice.
would just go up to Emil and be like,
oh, okay.
Remember what we trained for.
Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah, he looks at you and he says, I can never thank you enough for the training you've given me these past few days. You are like a brother to me. I needed one. Once I have reclaimed the wolves of the north, a brother I would like you to continue to be.
Do know that, as much as I hate to say it, my brothers don't seem to last very long.
He says, yes, so Lucas says this Yarf is a hard world, but in different ways than Barovia. You are no stranger to loss. Enjoy what you have while you have it. Defend it with everything you have. But do not waste too much time mourning what cannot be taken back. And you hear a slight whispering in the back of your mind. But for us, is there anything that cannot be reclaimed?
Darius will just give Emil a nod and just do a pound on his chest. Go get him.
Alright. Alright. Heads over, gets ready to wolf out, going once, going twice.
Did anyone give Shane and Taltos any direction on when to intervene? Or just leaving it up to me?
Oh, I mean, Zaluka would have explained to you guys a couple of times during the journey, maybe to the point of annoyance, but she feels it's necessary, that despite what people might say about werewolves being, somewhat chaotic, when it comes to these duels, any interference would invalidate the duel, and whoever interfered will be torn apart alive.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So he wolf out. And he lets out a woo sound, and then because that's what wolf sounds
So
like.
cute.
Yeah. I have that little spin and say. I could hold it next to the mic if that would help. So just a little crackle, and it's like the werewolf says, "Ah woo!" Yeah. So he woos, and then you hear a woos from inside the cave, and he woos louder, and Zaluka wolfs out. And she woos. And then Daniel, you feel like you should be wolfing out in a wooing, but the wolfing out part's not happening. But you could have woo if you wanted to.
He will. He will not, because
Okay.
he's growing, and he's learning that it's sometimes best to keep his mouth shut.
Fair enough.
It's his best character growth.
I love it. All right. Let's see. I think I tagged all the werewolves that you guys murdered, so I won't bring the same werewolves out. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, these two are still going. That's cool. All right, hold on. Not that I'm running out of werewolves, because like the early game was a lot of werewolf encounters, but I mean, you guys went hard on those werewolves in the early days. All right, so this and this. All right, so they would just be in werewolf form. There we go. All right, so two werewolves come out, and they see Kirill, and they stop a wooing, and he stops a wooing, and the wooing starts to die down. And then this one shouts over the snow and the wind, and she says, Kirill, you return!
Me, Emil.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry. This is, yeah. She says, Emil, you return! And Emil, kind of wish they hadn't made the names so similar. I feel like they're a little similar. Emil looks over, and he nods, and she says, you lost the right to rule this pack. Kirill rules now. You must go. You are exiled and have no business here. Zaluka may return if her foolish errand is done. And Emil stares back and he shouts over the wind and the rain and he says, you only know that I lost because the word of Kirill. It is our tradition that such rites are witnessed by all. I did not go to Castle Ravenloft to contest the rulership of our people, but to end the raids that stole the children from other worlds. I did not want such activities to bring hunters down upon us, planeswalkers capable of eradicating us. Here all pushed too far in the wrong direction. I sought the aid of the realm's lord to end his forays. He accompanied me to contest not the rulership of the pack, but my desire to end his raids. things became complicated. The Dark Lord pitted us against each other. He made the decision of who would rule. Ivanka looks around. That is not the story we heard. And Emil says, of course, history is written by the victors, they say. I am here to make right what is wrong. Strahd von Zarovich might rule Castle Ravenloft, but he has never and will never rule the wolves of the north. To accept his decree of Kirill as leader is to bend the knee to Castle Ravenloft. Are you a lick-spittle bitch like Roderick the Red, or are you a free wolf of the north? And the two werewolves, they look away, ashamed. Fetch Kirill and prepare the testing grounds. We will have a proper duel for leadership. One alpha will prevail. To the death. But in the end, we will have decided who leads. Not some pompous fool in his castle who does not know our ways. Over here, you see Irene's eyes go very big, and she kind of looks around at you guys like, what the fuck? Doesn't he remember? She whispers actually to you guys, doesn't he remember that when you say his name, he can scry on you and he see what's going on? Does he not pay attention to anything that we talk about?
I think he wants that to be known.
Oh my gosh, he just called me pale. What did he say, noble? I guess that's not too bad. He's pale and then noble. This feels like it's getting very complicated. This wolf says, your words will be taken to him. I will let you know what he says. And then from on top of the skull, is another werewolf. There he is. Shane, you watch this dude literally leap out of a hole in the top of the stone skull. Like, no ladder, no rope. He just fucking, like, Superman leaped and then did a superhero landing out of the hole in the roof. You also see that there's, like, a very blood-stained, like, fight pit sort of thing set up on the top of the skull. Okay. Yeah, he approaches the edge and he says, your words are heard, coward. I bested you once in an arena that sought to claim both our lives. It will be as nothing to best you here. And this time Strahd von Zarovich is not present to spare your miserable life. I will eat your entrails while you still live, that your bitch bride can watch the light go from your eyes, and that all in the back can see your weakness and cowardice for themselves. I will make you beg for death. So come, and let this be finished once and for all. And that's where we'll end the session.
Gonna get spicy.
Holy shit! Well, I think one way or the other, you will be completing another milestone next week. So have your next level ready to go. Do all your picking out, your building, so that you can just sort of slot those changes in. Because yeah, I mean, it says here, complete the werewolf storyline to my satisfaction, and I got news for you. You could actually gain 2 levels next week because another one is complete your fated companion storyline.
Huh.
So yeah, right.
Smaller.
Two for the price of one.
A twofer. A lot of these companions are twofers, which I realized when I was designing it, but also it kind of helps because almost all of the companions that you could have had and rolled for or whatever, they have pretty high end like end game kind of like goals. So at that point, you're either getting a boon out of it or you are catching up to on levels to kind of hit that max level. But yeah, it could move pretty quick. Here's the thing: if things result in her death, right, then you did not complete her. You did not level her up essentially through her quest. And I feel like this is going to be such a tense situation that we don't know how exactly it's going to turn out. So get your next 2 levels ready because you might be leveling once or possibly twice next week, depending on how it goes. Or you might just screw this up so bad that you just have to kill everybody, and those of you that survive don't gain any level ups. I mean, that's always an option too. So, holy shit, it's going to be a pretty tense one next session. All right. Quick announcements. Got Mythic prep tonight. Mythic Odyssey is cruising along. I am planning to do a Mythic like marathon prep at some point because I really just want to get all of Mythic into a box and then just be like, that is done. And then only have to prep around radical changes that might occur. I don't feel like I'm 100% there yet with Mythic because we're trying a different thing with the post game than we did with Prime. Anyways, I don't think I have any other announcements. If you're a Patreon patron, I am working to get the drive more organized. Swear to God, I'm trying. This week I dug out of like the deepest corners of Google Drive some pretty neat stuff, and so that's been added to the drive as well. So hopefully you start to feel like there's more value than just being like, this guy's cool, I'll help him out, that's fine. But I mean, if you're okay with that, that's cool too. Does anyone else have any announcements before we adjourn?
Nothing here.
Okay. In that case, great job, everybody. Some really strong role playing today, and we will continue next week.
Thanks for running. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next time.
All right, later.